it. It's like it's not a joke. It's like not.
Yeah.
There's no further attention paid to it. And like when Dinah's friend is just like, oh no, you go for that guy. He's not really my type. And then it shows her kind of give like a wink to a cute girl, and Dinah's like, good for you.
And like, we can't say it, but it's now implied.
I would seriously credit this show for just being cool about all that. It was kind of a joke, but the joke was never, haha, you're gay. It's like,
it was just like situational. Like, no, I wouldn't find that useful to my bar. Like,
like
very modern humor on that.
Somehow very well handled 18 years ago.
Service with a smile brings him back every time.
Lap dancing brings him back every time too. You want to try that?
How would I know? I'm gay.
That's a good big plus for this show, actually. Even though it comes up pretty rarely.
And I mean, they also pulled off having a show primarily ran with all-female lead.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I'm going to skip ahead to where I have that in my notes, because...
My God, your phone notes are huge compared to mine.
Yeah, I don't care about most of them, but I wanted them there just in case.
I'm watching Graham just like fly through notes, and I brought 2 pieces of loose leaf.
God, I wish. Yeah, I have 9 pages in this Google Doc.
Good Lord. You edited it down?
Case. Dude, I don't even know. It's embarrassing. It's too much.
He flipped through 2 pages twice, and then...
Well, if these pages were sticking together and shit, there's a fair amount in there.
I'm not gonna ask. It was right there. I had to take the shot.
Right. Where did I compliment this in my notes? I thought it would be easier to find. Yeah, just in general, this show is primarily female cast. Like half of the villains end up being female. The half that are male, usually their villainous trait is that they're gross around women. So that's kind of like a weird through line.
So there were 2 specifically. One I forgot about, but in an episode called Primal Scream, a guy's like, I just need to know what it feels like. And he walks up to her and just kisses her repeatedly. And
the grossest kiss I've ever seen.
Yeah. I was like, watching this like, this is awkward and weird. And subconsciously thought, this is about the low point of the series. Boy, was I wrong. There's another guy that has a scar on his face, and we've mentioned his episode a few times where he creates female fight club. He's like, I'm ugly. None of you will sleep with me, so you must all die.
Yeah. In between those 2, there was the Crawler, whose entire thing was killing young women who he perceives to have fallen in love.
See, this is how messed up this was. I didn't even consider that as being weird. I'm like, yeah, that's just a sociopath. Fun note on that. Because there was a lot of different ones of the series where I'm like, you can very much tell this is coming on the wake of Buffy.
Okay, yeah.
Like, Helena kind of looks like Buffy in her attire and like
snarky
attitude. Helena even makes a reference to Buffy.
Yes.
And the Crawler is, because that's the guy who you flip back and forth, right?
Yeah.
The Crawler is the first real villain that Buffy fights.
Luke.
Yeah. And then later the Judge.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, okay. When he first came up, I think I looked it up. I think his actor is Brian Thompson. Like, when he shows up in the show, I was like, this guy's pretty freaky looking. I think in my notes, the most delicate way I could think to put it was he looks like a beast freak.
Yes.
The man's voice is insane. He looks like intimidating as all hell. He's the scariest guy around.
Yeah.
And right away, I was like, holy shit, this is Luke from like the first few episodes of Buffy. And then I Googled it to confirm that. And I realized, which I'd never known before, he's Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was super pumped about that.
Because my thing with it was like, I started watching, I'm like, okay, this is very much the wake of Buffy. How long till one of the like bit actors from Buffy crosses over? And then I was like, I saw Luke, and I'm like, there we go, called it.
The only 3 things I know this guy from, he gets his ass kicked super hard in all 3, twice by women. That's this guy's shtick, because he's super big and intimidating and gets beat up by women.
And the 4th, right after the Crawler, the 4th really toxic one was there's a
invisible guy.
Oh, I was thinking the guy that was like, if you won't date me, Helena, we're gonna all die. They do a reunion episode, 5-year high school reunion.
Oh, that's Invisible Guy.
Oh, that was Invisible
Guy?
Yeah. Okay, my bad. I blotted that part out in front of the end of it. I don't think I ever wrote down that he was invisible in the episode in my notes.
Yeah.
But it's this like nerdy guy who keeps getting bullied, and then he's killing all the people that bullied him, and then Helena confronts him, and at one point she's like, oh, if I make it to the reunion, I'll come see you. Mm-hmm. And then she doesn't go see him, and he's like, you lied to me.
I've loved you my entire life.
Seemed to find time for everyone else.
Does the phrase polite brush off mean anything to you?
Shouldn't have stood me up.
And he lures her to a classroom. He builds this bomb where he's like, if you won't be with me, I'm going to set it off. And then it goes off, and magically, the just regular classroom door keeps all the gas inside the classroom that magically dissolves the guy.
Oracle is on the earpiece being like, Helena, get out of there and seal the door. And she gets out and closes the door.
And just watches. And I'm just
like, that's not sealing a door.
And it was like, I mean, I remember my high school, our doors were barely functioning at times.
Right.
And I'm like, and you're literally watching a guy like dissolve. And I'm like, I don't think, but nothing else in the room dissolves.
Nope.
Just the human body. And I'm like, Okay.
There is a scene in that where this guy keeps turning invisible. He can camouflage. She's chasing him through the high school, and she keeps trying to like connect with him and keeps